for getting me over here. In fact, he told me you don't have a choice. Then obviously, and he also fired me if I won't come. So I don't have a choice. I am here. So anyway, thank you, sir. First of all, it's an honor and privilege for being here, especially being part of the Tata Group organization and the flagship organization called TCS. I've been with TCS for more than 33 years, and it's like a great journey, and many of the aspects which has been told by mentioned by the earlier speakers. In many of the instances, even though I have not directly worked with Ratan Tata or in his office, some of us in TCS have been fortunate to listen to him, because we have an annual event called Blitz. It's like pretty much who's who in TCS will be there, whether it's sales, delivery, support group heads, everybody. Roughly, when it started, it was 400, 450 of us, which is, in fact, once I thought that I was fortunate to do that in Kochi also. So roughly around 800, 850 senior folks attends that. And in fact, I think 5 times I was fortunate, like before Mr. Tata stepped down, and a couple of times when it was happening in Hyderabad. We all know he is an aviator, so he was participating in the Bangalore Air Show. So he went there, he flew F-16 and then came to Hyderabad and narrated the stories. And in fact, we all know he won't make too much of a long speeches. But then whatever he had, that experience he shared, not only of this particular air show, other than that also the advices or the guidance what he provide, it completely demonstrates the patriotism, the kindness and the humbleness. And that is the key, that you can literally, the hall full will be silent and you can see he projecting or shining in all these particular aspects. In fact, in the after Cyrus, in fact, I was a bit unfortunate. Otherwise, in Budapest, when I was deputed to Hungary, the Global Delivery Center there won the best award, but happened in 2013. I was thinking if it happened in 2012, I would have received the award from Mr. Tata. So the 2013 it was Cyrus Mystery. Then after that event happened, then again when Chandra was appointed, he came once for this Blitz event in Dubai, and it was a fireside chat, it was not a talk. So Chandra was asking questions and opened up to the audience. So one of our senior delivery leaders, a sales leader, asked a question, what is the best thing happened to you, and what may be the one challenge happened to him? To you. So he thought for a second and said, the best thing happened to me is sitting right next to me. That was the current chairman, Chandra. So that is the humility, and he did it anyway. He said, challenges there are a lot, we will discuss some other time. So that is the way in which he means. And anyway, we all wanted to go, but 850 people going and taking picture or meeting him may not be a possibility. So that's what, and we all know he has been many adjectives like compassionate, capitalist, iconic, industrialist, all those things comes into play. But I thought the topic given with the values to be touched upon, I thought I will just connect the Tata values and then how he lived through that. His life and leadership fully embodied and emulated that values, and there are also examples, some of them has been already mentioned over here. And before that I thought I will just read out what current chairman had told about Ratan Tata, in quotes. Ratan Tata, a titan whose influence profoundly shaped modern India, a rare leader who steered by example, ambitious, even audacious in vision when it came to our business, our communities, our nation and the next generation. All this with genuine humility in every individual interaction. His leadership and lasting contributions have shaped not only the Tata Group but also the very fabric of our nation. That's what N. Chandra had told about him. Now coming to the Tata Group values, the key values or the 5 values which Tata Group follows is integrity, excellence, unity, responsibility and pioneering. And from an integrity standpoint, that is the cornerstone of Mr. Tata. Whatever he did, the ethics in the business has to be done in a very ethical manner and no compromise towards that. And I think one of the great examples we know is that issue which happened with Tata Finance. Somebody like picked up money, put it in their own business, and then tried to do all sorts of things. And he didn't shy away from that occasion. He like literally took it head on, and whatever maybe the consequences or the actions to be taken, he did that. And later I think it merged with Tata Motors Finance also. The other one is the excellence, like whatever he embodied excellence, whatever he touched, that excellence like is fully in there. And that is the best example is the Tata Motors. He picked up Tata Motors and made it a global automotive company. In fact, we all know there were a lot of skepticism around when the group picked up Jaguar and Land Rover. And also, I think most of you may know also the story of how it came to the group. Because initially, when Indiga, and that was his pioneering spirit, he wanted to like take risk, do something for the country, for our nation. That's why his whole ambition was to create an indigenous car. It didn't go well initially, so there was a plan to like, he went to Ford and then wanted them to take over the Tata Motors, which at that time he was like humiliated by Bill Ford. Yeah, being Tata, he didn't even showed any issue or any reaction. He came back, and after 4 years, Ford came to him to take over Jaguar and Land Rover. So that is where the whole story goes. And then we all know it's history, like everywhere is doing well. And in the global map, that's where he put Tata Motors, once which was supposed to get closed. Then comes the unity. In fact, it was also mentioned here. He fostered that collaborative effort and team effort. And in fact, currently we all like work within one of the purviews called OTON. It's called One Tata, One Network. That's currently, I think Mr. Chandra had created that initiative. So we do a lot of projects. And otherwise, it was all like different silos. Like in TCS, I don't know who is in Tata Motors or Tata Steel. There were even, along with his ambition, Mr. Tata's ambition to foster education, there is also like this collaboration with Harvard Business School. I was fortunate to attend 2 of their trainings. One obviously completely online during 2021 Jan during the pandemic, but it's a Harvard process. Even now it's called the Tata Group Senior Leadership Seminar, and earlier it was the one prior to that is like Executive Leadership Seminar. So that is how he had fostered that collaboration within the group. So, and also he created something called Tata Network Forum. So I am currently holding the chair role of Tata Network Forum Kochi chapter, which helps us at least. Otherwise, okay, Mr. Matthew Abraham or KDHP or whomever, we don't even know. We may go to Munnar for a visit, that's it. But now we all collaborate, we conduct programs also within the Tata Group employees. It can be like sustainability, cyber security, whatever may be the topic. So that is where the unity part of what Mr. Tata had brought in, and plus especially a service had mentioned about the 26/11 attack. That is like a clear example of not only unity within the organization, how the whole team and whomever got affected in that incident is being taken care of by after creating that Taj Public Service Welfare Trust. Then comes the responsibility. In fact, he felt like responsibility mainly from a community standpoint is the key. In fact, in one of the recent videos I was just watching, just August 1st, 2024, he created a trust. Just imagine, he is 86 years old and ailing, and he created a trust for Alzheimer's. Trust on August 1st, 2024, just 2 months before he passed away. So that is like the commitment Mr. Tata was having on the community, on the society, and overall from a national standpoint. And that's where I think the nano car is a great example. In fact, like as MC was mentioning, that is what, in fact, he had mentioned that in an interview, that was where the positioning went wrong. It should not have been, Nano should not have been positioned as a cheap car in India. That's where the whole marketing, and in fact he had clearly explained that here it has been given to the marketing team who was like currently doing the marketing of all other vehicles. So they also said, okay, it's the cheapest car, but actually if it would have been positioned as, it will enhance the safety of all two-wheeler owners and including the family, it would have been a much different impact. So that is how the whole nano came, because while in a junction in Mumbai, he saw a two-wheeler, father, mother, two kids, and the lady was holding an umbrella, it was raining. That's where the thought came on his mind. Can it be like little bit like enhance the cost or increase the cost, give a four-wheeler, it would have helped in their safety. But the whole positioning got awkward, and in fact he also says maybe in Indonesia or places like that it will succeed, the nano car will succeed. Pioneering, obviously, we don't have to like specifically mention about that. It's like the pioneering spirit, whether from telco to Tata Motors, the trucks was the what telco used to do, and then came the indigenous car, then taking over of like all the acquisition, as earlier mentioned, after the 1991 change which the then Prime Minister brought in, the globalization, till that time almost like 65-70% of the revenues used to come from India, but now it's the other way around, and Tetley Tea, Chorus, Jaguar Land Rover, all are like, what do you call it, that created an impact like from an Indian firm. Somebody can look over that and make them succeed, and then put India or the respective organization in a global map. That is where I think he had shown that, he had proved that. And same in TCS, we also follow lot of like such activities from whatever we do. And in fact in Kerala also I know we do like between Kochi and Trivandrum, and mainly it's not like the cutting the check and giving. I encourage people to go stand in that situation at that place on the location and do whatever support can be provided. Recently the team arranged something in a place called Kannambadi, and we are saying, I think if you get a chance you should go. It's in Idiki. It's like a government tribal school, first standard to 10th standard, 137 students are there. But like the way in which it is like all run, and you can see, sir, and there are even students went and did the post graduation or in admissions in NIT, IIM, all of them are there. But there somewhere some of the parents was having certain support structure which helped. Otherwise there is a bright student, and even there is also something called an Egadhyapika school. ഒരൊറ്റ ടീച്ചറെ അവിടുത്തെ മൂപ്പൻ്റെ മോളാണ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. ലൈക്ക് ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ടു ഫോർത്ത് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് 13 കുട്ടികളേ ഉള്ളൂ. അല്ലെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ബെഞ്ചിൽ the first student may be studying in first standard, she will teach Malayalam. Second student may be in third standard, she will teach English, like that. 11 പേര്. അത് അതിനെക്കാളും വല്ലാത്തൊരു അടങ്ങാനും വെച്ചൊരു തലവേദന. If you don't feel so comfortable, കഴിഞ്ഞെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചാൽ മതി, ഇനി മേടിക്കാറാണെന്നൊന്നും വിചാരിക്കണ്ട, ആ രീതിയിൽ ആ സ്ഥലമായിരിക്കുന്നു. But that was like, so that is the thing, all these, in fact, anyway, one great example I want to mention is on that day 11:30 all of us got the intimation to do a condolence meeting at 11:30. Just one announcement, everybody got it. Goes to 15,000 associates in Kochi and 3,000 in Trivandrum. Otherwise normally even if you go pick them up and you will tell you will kill them also, they won't come down for a town hall or a meeting. It's a effort. One time the HR had announced, everybody came, they full stood in line, paid homage to Mr. Tata by keeping the flowers. So that is the difference. So I think it was earlier mentioned, it's not like within the organization, even everybody, I think you would have seen that video in Munnar that ladies had created, paying homage to Mr. Tata, like Umar. So that is the impact he had created to the society. And in conclusion, as I mentioned, these are the 5 values Tata Group, and not only he didn't consider that as like the values of an organization, he lived that values. So let's get inspired with that values and see how we can support, bring to the society, to the organization and the nation at large. And like, thanks Mr. Tata for showing us the way, and it's an inspiring journey. And once again, thank you TMA for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.